weren't on the ballot in 2022. What are you talking about? 2022 ostensibly was the super far right reactionary, the reactionary response. It was the response to Roe v. Wade. You were nowhere near that ticket. If you were near that ticket, you would have gotten cooked anyway. Oh, and in 2020, COVID carried your ass, dude. The president got COVID like so close to the goddamn election. I don't know why people refuse to recognize how important that is. Okay, but how should he be acting? I understand what you mean, but it's not like he should be publicly crying. He should be dropping out, dude. What are you talking about? He shouldn't be operating like this fake, phony, tough guy act. He should be dropping out. That's how he should be acting. He should go up to the first microphone he sees and says, I am no longer running for president, and I will not accept the nomination, even if the party elects me or appoints me as the presidential candidate. The LBJ method, okay? That's what he should be doing.
You've been wrong about everything so far. You were wrong about 2020. You were wrong about 2022. We were going to get wiped out. Remember the red wave? You were wrong about 2023. You said all the tough races, we won them all but two. So, look, we'll see.
Have you spoken? How can you personally?
Voters have to vote like democracy depends on it, but politicians don't have to politic like democracy depends on it. Yeah. Also, the media wasn't anti-Biden in 2020. What the are we talking about? They literally were super pro-Biden. The media hated Donald Trump, only to look back fondly at Donald Trump because their ratings were so much better. And before people say, Hassan, you're the media, your ratings are worse now. Remember, my ratings were awesome for the first 3 years, 4 years almost. My ratings have been shitty since October 7. That's a matter of my own personal convictions and my own personal principles. Before October 7, it was fine. The media and Democrat loyalists killed off the Me Too movement when Biden got accused. The only thing Biden needs is 3 minutes of ads at the top of the hour. Why did I read that? Okay, it is late. It's like, okay, it's midnight here. That's why I read that. That's so stupid of me. God damn it. It's not, you didn't even try hard. You didn't even try hard, Yedick. God damn it. At the top of the hour, there's a 3 minute ad break. I'm just like Biden. There's a 3 minute ad break at the top of the hour. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. Mehdi may be watching. Maybe. Oh my God. Did he just tweet this out literally as I was saying it? It's probably parallel thinking. That is crazy. That's crazy that he said Biden is running down the clock, which is selfish, is reckless, but above all else is transparent. I feel bad because I was talking about his takes on Corbyn's anti-Semitism earlier now. I did defend him though. Isn't it showing tweets based on your time zone? Yes. My computer's time zone is 2:50. It's 3 p.m. right now on my computer. My laptop is LA time always. So it's actually 2:50 p.m. PST, which is 10 minutes ago, which is exactly when I said Biden is not running across the finish line. He's not running the time. He's not running out the clock for November 5. He's running out the clock until the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. How much was the viewership before October 7? I was a steady 30K. Always, sure sometimes higher, sometimes lower, but always steady 30K was the base. 28K max. Ukraine caused a dip too. Nah, Ukraine doesn't matter. Like, Ukraine dipped, but it wasn't that it was marginal. Post Ukraine, it was still 30K. Clipped? No, that's not what I meant. You used to have 40K watching MasterChef? Yeah, those are COVID numbers. There's a bubble ring.
Capture zone
That's contested. A Mickey Mouse ring, brother. That's like that. That's different. Anyway, 30 minutes until the first ABC teaser drops. Oh, I can't wait. Here's a 3 minute ad right now. Odds that Biden flubs the interview? Low. I think that Biden doesn't flub the interview. Once again, Biden doesn't flub this interview because Biden has done interviews like this before, and he's done fine. ABC, they're going to release the full transcript. No, it doesn't matter. He can perform in a situation like that, okay? Even if it's not edited, I don't think you guys understand. He can perform in a situation like that. He has performed in a situation like that. He'll have a couple gaps in there, but it won't be. I think that if your expectation is that he like boofs this thing utterly, I think you're wrong.
In Madison, Wisconsin, for a campaign rally. He is also going to sit down there with ABC's George Stephanopoulos for his first on-camera interview since the debate. It will be fair to say the most important interview of his very long career, because if he's going to stay in the race, he must convince voters, donors, and Democratic lawmakers that he can handle not just the next 4 months, but the next 4 years. The campaign says, of course he can, and he does not sound like a man about to bow out of the race.
You got me, man.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
CNN's Priscilla Alvarez joins us now live from the White House. Priscilla.
I bet you Biden crashes and burns in this interview. I don't think so. Like, I'm telling you right now, I think he does like fine in this interview. He has like a couple moments. Media will still hyper focus on those moments and it'll be reflected as like an L. But overall, the media interview that he's conducting with ABC is not for you. You already know he sucks. You already know he's demented. The media interview that he's going to conduct is for the donors, the most important, if not the only important group. And if he actually manages this media interview, above average performance, he doesn't have to go gangbusters. He doesn't have to like, you know, recite poetry or anything like that. He just has to, and this is a managed environment, remember. It's not a debate. He's not up against Donald Trump. He doesn't have 50 million people watching, okay, in real time. It's not being broadcasted live, which is huge, okay? I'm telling you right now, he has to do average, and I think he's capable of doing above average, especially in a managed environment, which is so crazy to think.
But never out, agent.
Because
you got this.
Like, that's how low the bar is. The bar is basically baby's first word is Baba. Okay? That's where the bar is. That's crazy. That in and of itself is an immediate cause for concern. That itself means like it's over. The race is done. Okay, we're cooked.
What are you hearing?
Well, Dana, in some ways, this is the cleanup tour really starting in earnest, with the president going to Wisconsin today to talk to voters and also participating in that prime-time interview. Campaign officials that I have been talking to say, look, we acknowledge this is a high-stakes moment for the president, but they're also aware that the president is sometimes prone to those verbal missteps. And so this isn't just about the substance of what the president says during this interview, but also how he delivers it. And then, of course, the president will go to Pennsylvania on Sunday. Now, we are now learning from the campaign that his original event in Pennsylvania to speak with the National Education Association will not occur because of an employee strike, and the campaign says he will not cross the picket line, but he will still have stops in that battleground state. But look, all of this is to say that over the last week, a very challenging week for the Biden campaign, allies have repeatedly said they want to see more candid moments from the president, more unscripted moments, and they're hoping that that is what we can display over the next few days. So this July campaign memo that was released today, in some ways, is them saying, we hear you. In addition to all of these stops, the president also expected to go to Nevada in mid-July to attend 2 conferences where he'll speak directly to Black and Latino voters. It also includes a $50 million paid blitz. So the campaign is certainly trying to build up momentum, especially as they face pressing questions about the president and whether he is the most viable candidate going up against former President Donald Trump in this very heated election season. I will note, because we played the soundbite there earlier of the president at the barbecue just yesterday here at the White House, that while the president observed the fireworks from the White House balcony, he was joined by Vice President Kamala Harris. She has not been there before for that presentation. In the past, she often engages in other July 4th firework engagements. So this was an opportunity to show unity at a time when they are both coming under increased scrutiny.
Let's discuss with White House reporter for Politico, Eli Stokers. Eli, great to see you. This speech in Milwaukee, this primetime interview, if they go well, will it be enough to unravel this narrative surrounding the president's age and mental acuity?
That's a great question, Boris. That's really the question. I'm not sure they will be. I think people inside the president's inner circle, they've listened, they've heard that there are things that he needs to do to reassure people, and they are trying to do that. A sit-down interview, travel, more unscripted moments. But, you know, at the same time, there is a palpable sense that none of it is really going to offset what the country saw on the debate stage last week.
Yeah, it's like this, okay? or let's say you write a story and you get something wrong. The number of people see you get something wrong is going to be significantly higher than the number of people that see the correction. Okay, you can try to course correct after, but once 50 million live televised viewers watch you stumble around, and then the subsequent media coverage for the next week and a half is about how old you are and how you should just die, it's done. That's the only thing coming out right now. This has been a rather uneventful election cycle, okay? An incredibly uneventful election cycle, and I told you that this is the most boring, most predictable election cycle thus far. But, and I told you this time and time again, it has the capacity to be the most eventful election cycle of our lifetime. And that is currently panning out, currently happening. I thought maybe, you know, there could be a medical emergency that would make this very interesting. It turns out it is kind of a medical emergency, but it's not like a one-off, more of a slow burn. Far lefties in shambles. Far lefties in shambles. Do you think that far lefties love Joe Biden? What do you think a far lefty is? Do you think communists care about Joseph Robinette Brandon? Explain to me your political positions right now. I need to investigate further, because this is fun. Do not scare this one. Chat, this is a good one. I like this one. Come on, man. Fuck. They spook so easy, bro. They're like a feral animal in the wild. Like you step on you step on a branch or some leaves and they immediately spook and then run away. God damn it. Oh, it up. I did it. I spooked him.
And that the president really took his big liability and made it even bigger, adding to concerns about his age and apparent frailty, and really imperiling his reelection bid. I mean, his campaign is teetering on a razor's edge right now. And even if he gives a decent interview, shows some pep, some vigor, some commitment, there are already, as Isaac spoke to a little while ago, a lot of talks in Democratic circles about what Plan B is going to look like. There are a lot of members on Capitol Hill, dozens in fact, who are already privately of the mind that the Democratic Party needs a new presidential nominee. They haven't said that. Most of them have held back those comments publicly, but that is the conversation behind the scenes inside the White House, inside the campaign. There are some aides who, despite putting their head down, trying to do the work, expressing sort of a determination and resolve to go forward. There are a lot of aides who understand that this may not be fixable. And so, yes.
Biden announced the age Robin. Brother, he's been saying that every day, by the way. This isn't new. Like, trust me, he has not stopped saying this. He says it every day. At this point, I don't think people care about him saying he ain't dropping.
All eyes are going to be on what the president says today in Wisconsin and in this interview, how he looks, how he sounds, but it may not.
I think it's kind of funny. They're like, oh, dude, I ain't dropping. And people are just kind of like, okay, Joe. Because they're just like, because the reason why people want him to drop also kind of renders him and his statements kind of silly and useless. You know what I mean? Because people want him to drop because they think like he's old and demented. So when the old demented guy says, I ain't dropping, people are like, okay, old man, come on. Let's get you to bed, Grandpa. Come on, Grandpa.
Not be enough to allay the anxieties that a lot of people have across the party, that the president's biggest liability is just not something that can be fixed, and politically speaking, that it may already be fatal.
Joining us now is Larry Sabato from the University of Virginia Center for Politics. Larry, always good to have you on. You sit down with a lot of voters through the years, and this
chat right now, my last strong Biden take is that a lot of people have never seen a sports team that was very obviously about to fire their coach in his shows. Not saying he's 1,000% to go, but like tweeted platitudes from the governors about how he's the nominee and we need to beat Trump doesn't mean Biden will stay in. Let's not be naive.
I'll take 3 objectives on your
That's a great take.
Assault them at your
Biden
discretion.
says governors didn't say shit to his face after MA Gov now asked him to reconsider. You guys saw the governors, every one of them in that room. All those governors said stay in the race. When reminded, the governor from Massachusetts has said since he should reconsider, he said, Maury really didn't say anything when I was in the room, okay? They ain't say my face, Jack. It's so funny that, like, he's no longer fighting the Republicans. He's now fighting the Democrats. Okay? Which is not a good position to be in when you're supposed to be tapping into every part of your party. Yeah, they probably didn't say it to your face because they didn't want you to die on the spot. Say it to my face. See what happens. Say it to my face, Jack. See what I'll do to you. Also,
on the scope in Zone B.
Hakeem Jeffries on the move. News with Rebecca Kaplan. Representative Hakeem Jeffries, leader of the House Democrats, is convening a virtual meeting with his committee ranking members at 2 p.m. Sunday, 3 sources tell NBC News. One of those sources says the meeting is expected to focus on Joe Biden amid calls from some lawmakers and donors to step aside. House and Senate Democrats plan meetings to discuss Biden's 2024 prospects. Dems who are vastly more popular than he is, mind you. Okay, to be fair, Biden is currently one of the most unpopular politicians in the country. As of today, he has officially reached literally the lowest approval rating of his not his political tenure, but actually it might even be his political tenure, but his lowest approval rating of his presidency. Okay, he's not just underwater, he's now beating records. But most importantly, like I said, millionaire Disney heiress says she's pulling funny the Democrats until Joe Biden exits the 2024 race. Abigail Disney is calling for President Biden to leave the race. But that's not the only person. The Netflix guy also is demanding he drop out. Brad Sherman suggesting delegate mutiny against Biden. Congressman Brad Sherman countered popular belief. Rules of the Democratic Party do not require that the pledged delegates vote for Biden at the convention. Party rules require delegates' votes reflect the sentiment of those who elected them at the time the delegates cast their ballots. Democratic primary voters have one overarching sentiment. We need a candidate who will beat Donald Trump. Here's how Biden can still win. The libs on Reddit are accusing people of being a Russian bot if you mention this. Yes. Redditors are completely out of control with their pro-war, pro-Biden, pro-whatever. They are the last bastion. They are the guys who are going to Biden. They are the ones doing Biden blasts. They are the ones who are going to the Biden conferences and going, oh my God, blow my back walls out, please. They're crazy. They're pro-Israel. They're pro-Biden. They just take all the worst positions. I don't know what else to say about him. Libs on Reddit have lost their minds. They genuinely are saying shit like the Republicans are making leftists hate Biden. It's crazy.
Provide first aid.
Yeah, they have lost their minds. They have been losing their minds. They're also still unimaginably, unconditionally like, keep Ukraine in the fight. Down to the last Ukrainian. Israel must finish the job. They're super, super pro-Israel, which is, of course, immediately at odds with the Ukraine position because Ukraine is the country being invaded and morally is righteous in their emancipatory quest to remove the invading forces, the Russian forces, from their borders. Whereas Israel is also the invading force in this, so they're closer to Russia in that regard, and yet they are still pro-Israel. This is because Redditors are the worst type of liberals. They are the unironic, free Democratic Party analysts. They fancy themselves as blacks. They fancy themselves as wonks. They think they are working on K Street, working in DC, they're working on the Hill. They're staffers, except they're not. They literally are just like regular old accountants and shit and doing this for free on the sidelines. Okay? Reed Hastings, Netflix co-founder, said Democrats should replace Biden at the top of the ticket. That's also not good for Biden. I mean, it's correct though. It is the correct position, as I have said since day one. Okay, Abigail wants to know his face. As I've said since day one. Okay, you can either say democracy is on the ballot and therefore we have to win. And I am closer to that position than I am to the other position, which is that Biden has to be the guy to do it. You can't say democracy's on the ballot and also maintain the position that we have to abide by the narcissistic desires of a singular 800-year-old man who believes that it is his time again. Isn't it so sick how all the stories about wealthy donors and C-level executives saying Biden should step down? Who gives a fuck about us peasants, I guess? What a country we live in, bro. I actually am so dude-filled at this point. It's crazy. Brother, yeah, of course those are the only voices that matter. Like, what are we talking about? If the money faucet runs out, then the Democratic Party is truly cooked. If they shut off the money cannon, if they shut off the faucet, how the Biden gonna get elected? He's not. He's not getting elected. He's cooked. What is this? Spoke this eve. Post-Madison event with two top national elected Democrats. There are two things that are true at once. They both said separately. One, they're beginning to accept President Biden is not considering at all leaving the ticket, and few, if any, want to publicly push him. Two, Biden's determination to stay in hasn't stopped talk of trying to get him to reconsider that position, especially after hearing from voters, donors on the 4th and talking about other electees. There's also growing sense that E.B. Harris is nominee if President Biden goes, which he says he won't do. Why? In order to avoid political war and let the fight be over running mate. No one is making any moves, even privately, to prepare to challenge her for nom this summer in such a scenario. Again, as of 6:10 p.m. Eastern Time, ahead of the ABC interview, sources around White House and Biden family say he's determined as ever, confident he can beat Trump, and believes democracy is on the line with this election, and is confident Dems will ultimately see it like him as debate fades. That is insane, dude. Because here's the problem. Biden has a very serious problem. He keeps flubbing, okay? And every new flub reminds people of the big bad one. Okay? This is just delusion. Biden could legally assassinate Trump. I know, but he's not gonna do that because he's a What are we talking about? He ain't gonna do that shit either. Your president, what do you do day one? Oh, jorking my penis in the White House, dude. Stroking that shit with oil on my... Stroking it. Telling everybody, I'm telling Secret Service to post up outside the door. Day one, jorking it, dude. How does that help me? Who said anything about helping you, dude? I'm gooning. I'm gripping, dude. I'm gripping hard in the White House. In the Oval, baby. I'm doing O-face in the Oval. Straight jorking it. And then if I get caught, or if someone writes an article about it, I'm gonna be like, listen, I needed that post-nut clarity. You know what I'm saying? Before calling up President Vladimir Putin, I had to jork my shit because I need that clarity. I need to be on my tippy-top game. You feel me? Someone said Vladimir Putin is no-fap. Yeah, that's why he sucks. See? If Vladimir Putin had jorked it before deciding to invade Ukraine, he would not have invaded Ukraine. He would have known that that's a bad idea. Or else you might want to Putin, yeah, he's hot. That's why. Telling my parents, yeah, he's a really smart political pundit. You should check him out. Yeah, except if they did, they would agree with me. Your dad tuning in right as I'm talking about jerking it off, tugging it, having a yank, gripping it in the Oval, and he's like, that's a smart man. Wait, what? Oh, it's starting? President Biden was asked by George Stephanopoulos if he watched last week's debate. I don't think I did. No. Oh, man. Oh, baby. Oh, man.
I just wanted to say what a sweet guy Josh is, but you guys already know how sweet I think he is. He just ordered me Little Caesars with like 2, I think, crazy bread, like stuffed crazy breads, and a dessert, which I've never had dessert from them, so that's a first, and it looks really good. And there's one piece for everyone I could share. And I do plan on sharing this with everyone in my family. There's no way I can eat all of this, but Josh is so sweet. I told him, I was like, you're trying to fatten me up, aren't you? I mean, that's just a joke. He's not going to fatten me up. Go get some crazy bread in honor of your friend.
The capture zones.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be dinner later tonight. So thank you, Josh. I don't have to cook tonight. Thank you.
And all you trolls say that romance is dead, being a loving boyfriend is dead. Ha! I scoff in your face, because nothing is more romantic than getting a triple bacon stuffed cheese bread from Little Caesars and a Twix dessert bar. That's most definitely what is up, YouTube. And I know, you're gonna sit there and think, he's being sarcastic. What an asshole. Some people, that's a luxury for them. Little Caesars, yum, delicious. And, you know, I'm glad that we got to witness this beautiful moment before the absolute train wreck that's gonna come afterwards, because we get to see the dichotomy of love in modern America. From coast to coast, we got lovebirds singing their tunes into the skies. And of course, Jessica's gonna find a way to absolutely ruin this. Josh will show up near the end. He'll give his opinions about some of the events going on, but let's get into it.
Your thumbs. So I'm tired of mods, and I'll fucking unmod everyone just like I did earlier. I don't care. Because y'all are still fucking around on me. I'm not fucking dumb. I am to a certain extent, yeah, but I don't care. You think I want to read comments that I'm 80 and 60 and shit? Oh, I gotta delete that myself? Then why do I have mods then? You should know what to fucking delete. 50th birthday, please block this person. I can't. Every time, fine, I got him. No, nobody eats a soft sandwich and enjoys that. Nobody eats a fucking huge bean burrito from Taco Bell with beans and a fuck ton of sauce of all different. No, that's not food. No. Somebody sent me a Taco Bell fucking huge burrito. Like the thing was fucking huge with beans and all the other things sauce. After 2 a.m. in the fucking morning. I said, trash.
Jessica is missing who she is dating. The man who has eaten cat food sandwiches to own the trolls. And she says, nah, a sauce and bean burrito, that's just not human. Who can eat that slop? Disgusting, gross. Can't stand it. And it's cute that she is so sensitive. Like, Josh has reached this point that he's like delirious, delusional, something of the sort, because he doesn't take the attacks from the trolls to heart as much, because he thinks he's like the greatest human to ever exist and he has no flaws. Meanwhile, Jessica's kind of the opposite, where she only thinks she has flaws. So whenever anybody calls out the fact that she's, I mean, technically she's 40, but, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80, oh, it fucking eats at her, because she knows that she's just wasted her life away, and she's just stuck here making pina coladas for the trolls online. That's most definitely what is up, YouTube.
I know my tits are saggy. It don't matter, because my tits still look good. It is romantic. I fucking love it. I love Josh. I need a screenshot of that. Scroll up. Ooh, Josh deleted her message. Ooh, what did she say, Josh? She's deleting messages. What did you say?
We're facing
I want to know what you said.
She gets off at the fact that, ooh, Josh owned some other lady. Ooh, I know I'm a repulsive looking person and that it's confusing as to why anybody would find me attractive. But, you know, I get a little glimmer every once in a while where Josh is just deleting trolls. And if they're a lady troll, ooh, it's like that BP commercial from South Park where, or the, you know, the cable company that's rubbing their nipples. Oh, we're sorry, we didn't mean to do that, we're sorry. Oh, she loves it. And Josh has been sending some pretty sus messages out in public, just completely uncaring, talking about how he likes to jerk it to her face and stuff like that. And it's like, oh boy, I never thought I'd say it, but where are the Chatterbait days, man? Bring them back. Holy shit.
So bad. I'm going to bed. No. What the fuck have I done?
I'll start filling out the mission failure report. Get a head start on the bookkeeping.
Telling you to do it in your kitchen. Do you want me to leave this fucking shithole or what? Or, well, you don't know my life. Don't fucking tell me what to fucking say. Don't tell, unless you can get me out of this situation. Unless you can get me out of this situation, don't fucking tell me what to fucking do.
Somebody recently asked me on a stream what I thought the most prevalent characteristic of a lolcow was, and I described it as somebody that continuously does the same shit and should know better because they're told to change their ways and they choose not to. And it's similar in tone to like the definition of insanity, right? But I will never show sympathy to somebody like Jessica, who's 40 years old, lives at her parents' house, doesn't have a job, doesn't do anything, just fucking milks the money out of them, gets Josh to fucking bail her out of shit, and I'm supposed to feel bad for her like she's living in such a treacherous, horrible lifestyle. I mean, I understand. As a man who lived with his parents for an extended amount of time throughout college, I understand, and I didn't want to stay there much longer, so I got a job and I left and I moved out like most people tend to do, right? It's not because I hate them, it's not because I was being mistreated. You just want your autonomy back, and that's probably what you need as a 40-year-old woman, is to not be living with your senile parents. That would be a first step. You know, at the very least, get a job at your local Burger King so you can work there for 10 hours a day and you're out of the house and you're not just stuck there dwelling all day. But either way, I'm not going to feel bad.
Do you want me to ever get out of this shithole or not? I literally could have had money in my life twice. I think it was like $225,000 or so. I don't fucking know. I could have won a lot of money on a poker game. And I wouldn't be in this whore's life. I wouldn't be in her fucking whore life.
So she really hates her mom for one reason or another. And yeah, you know, you could have been a multi-millionaire, because I'm sure you were really close to hitting the jackpot in a fucking poker game. Yeah, I'm sure. You know, the game that takes wits and being able to out-deceive your opponent, that type of game. Yeah, she has a very level head and would be able to keep her emotions intact and definitely win $250,000. I don't doubt that for a second. And at the same time, I could have been launched into space and landed on the moon. We could have seen pigs fly. I mean, that's the type of world that we're living in.
Do all the things I used to be able to do at all the times at any given time. So if something cuts off or whatever, it's because everyone hates me. Everyone wants me to die.
Domination.
I know I'm ugly.
This off's a bit raucous for the Echelon playbook, but I'm sure you'll manage.
That's fine. I know I'm not. But I'll always be here for Josh.
It says a nice, relaxing weekday meal. like taking shots out of your liquor bottle on the toilet, head banging the fucking 3 Days Grace and other fucking emo tracks of the mid 2000s, and then proceeding to talk about how ugly you are and that your tooth decaying boglum boyfriend would not find you attractive. Oh yeah, that you're hitting the bingo card of all of the atrocities that I hope I never come across in my life.
Gym is needed. Oh, okay.
Apprehensive of showing her actually laying face down in the tub because I don't know how YouTube's going to respond to that. They typically aren't big fans of self-harm content, right? So the gist of it is she was sitting on the toilet. It sounded like she used it at some point, got in the tub. Apparently Josh claims that this is her safe space, and she's just absolutely plastered. Is sitting there for a couple minutes, and slowly you can tell she's starting to fall asleep, starting to pass out, and her face is in the water. The tub's probably like half full, I would think, so her face is in the water. People are calling her phone trying to wake her up. She pops up and she's like, why would I need an intervention? Why do I need that, YouTube? Can't figure that one out. Why are people freaking out over this stuff? That's bizarre. You guys are so silly gooses. I know I was just talking about how everybody hates me and I want to die, but I would never follow through with it, YouTube. That's just ridiculous. Get out of here. Bye-bye, trolls. Get out of here.
Hey, the police are asking about you.
The police? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm in the freaking bathroom.
Alright.
And did I hide from my dad because I'm in the fucking tub?
Lighting up the scope. Really coming out of the woodwork.
Hello? Do you want your dad to see you naked, you stupid bitch?
I'm a fucking adult. I don't need my alcohol taken away. Who did I hurt tonight? Nobody. Who cried? Nobody shed.
I just got a really bad headache tonight, and I'm playing really terribly. I took some pain pills just now, hopefully, a Tylenol, and feel better in a minute because I might just stop playing because I'm playing so bad, and it's making my head hurt even worse. I finished the challenges though. It's not bad. Give it a minute. Let's watch a little of this and then see if this headache goes away. I don't want to. I want to play. Oh, damn it.
No tears, nobody cried, nobody yelled, nobody cussed, nobody. Jesus Christ, I was gonna do most of the dishes. Y'all have to interrupt my poor dad, waking him up, and then I was gonna do most of the dishes and he could do the rest of them.
I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about at this point. First off, you're 40 years old. Why don't you do all the dishes? Why don't you make that your payment for staying inside of their house? You know what, Dad? I know you're 75 years old. You're living off of a pension. Your knees are probably bad. It hurts to go up and down the stairs. I'll do the dishes for you, buddy. Nah, she's going to do her dishes and say, fuck you, parents. Do it yourself. Go on and do it. And the delusion that exists within both her and Josh is mind-boggling. Who am I hurting? I'm not doing anything. You guys, you trolls, are making my dad go and do stuff, huh? You're the one, and you're saying, I don't want my dad to see me naked in the tub. Well, first off, you're not naked. Second off, even if you were, you're allowing hundreds of people on the internet to see it, and now I'm talking about it, so a couple thousand people are gonna see it. I don't know. It's a bit confusing. I can't understand the logic that is going on behind the scenes, behind those eyes. You know, the lights are off clearly behind there, but hey, you know, Josh is gonna come in and save the day. He's looking out for her.
Let's talk about Jessica for a second. We got some Admiral Nelson's watermelon rum. And she's still streaming on her another Pina Colada stream. She got drunk. Now, I'm not going to give Jessica shit for passing out on stream drunk, because Lord knows I'm a hypocrite if I do that. But she literally fucking passed out in a bathtub face first. And you can see the water level was full. And a lot of people were concerned. Fucking drunk, started self-deprecating herself. Sitting there saying, well, I hope Josh finds a better girlfriend. He deserves the best, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I would challenge Jessica to save one of her drinking streams when she acts like this, and then go back and watch it so she can see how she fucking acts.
This is one of the richest things I think I've ever heard this man say. He has no self-reflection. Are you missing all the times that you've gone on a drunken tirade, screaming and ranting and raving, having police show up to your apartment? Are you forgetting about those moments? Do you not watch those back? No, instead you show up to my videos and say, actually, buddy, I think Jessica's a cool chick. I don't hate her at all. That's ridiculous. That's the life that Josh lives. He's trying to convince himself, he's trying to convince all of you that he actually thinks Jessica is a cool girl, and that is a wifey material, hello, let's get married right now type of situation. And we all know it's a facade, it's fake. Nothing about this relationship on Josh's end seems organic. I think he actually is quite annoyed by her. But I think he also understands that this is really his only chance. I don't know if he ever figured out if that other girl was a troll or not. I don't know if he knows. I know we know that she was a troll, but I don't know if he ever found out. But if he did, maybe it started to set in that it's like, well, it's Jessica or bust. There's really not going to be anybody else. It's not like I'm going to live to be 60 years old. You know, I'm going to have no teeth here within 5 years. So I might as well latch my buggy to the closest alcoholic I can possibly find, and it just so happens to be Jessica. How lovely.
Luckily, I was able to call Jessica when she was passed out in the bathtub, face first. And then she started to pass out in the bathtub without her face being in the water. That was a good start. And she stayed in the bathtub for so fucking long. I get that's her safe space. I get that. But I finally says to Jessica, I says, honey, get out of the bathtub and crawl into bed. You'll feel better in the morning. And watching that part of the stream, she was like, oh, I'll get out of here in like 10 minutes. Then 20 minutes later, I'll get out of here in 30 minutes. And she finally got out of the bathtub. And then when I saw she made it safely to bed, I was like, okay, I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Dealing with your drunk friend, you go out, you know, you bar hop a little bit, you get some drinks in you. He's acting like a fucking fool, running around, laying down on chairs, laying down on the floor. It looks like he might be throwing up here in a little bit. And you're like, all right, we just have to get this fool back to his bed and forget about him. Lock him in the fucking room. And that's sort of what Josh is dealing with here. It's crazy that he's incapable of seeing that they are literally a mirror image of each other. There are some slight modifications, you know, the cloning didn't operate perfectly, but their relationship to each other and their characteristics are like uncanny. And somehow he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He thinks, I'm the mature one. I have to look out for her. I'm doing her a favor right there, YouTube.
Jessica said on stream, I kid you not, you act like you've never taken a nap when you get drunk. And I'm like, you're right. People do pass out when they drink. And people were not trying to attack her or bully her. They were just doing it because they were concerned. She denied it. She's like, oh, I would never do that. And I'm like, that is so typical Jessica, dude. You can't talk to her when she drinks. Because as soon as she does anything stupid, she'll deny it. She'll feel like she's being attacked. And it's like, we're not attacking you, dear. We're just making sure you're okay. But Jessica has told me she doesn't really have any friends in the real world, so she goes on social media because she likes to stream and interact with people. And I'm telling her, like, you gotta stop giving a shit about what people think about you. It's a wonderful feeling.
Isn't this cute? This is like the formation of some CIA sleeper cell, you know, mass T-word incident that happens in some city somewhere. If you're picking up my drift, two loners that have no friends in the real world are getting together, compulsive alcoholics that act on their emotions nonstop. That's most definitely what's up, YouTube. And I don't know about you guys, as I've gotten older, I honestly can't recall me getting so drunk that I just pass out where I am. I feel like it almost never happens. Do I get tired? Sure. Yeah, I might do some drinky poos and then, I go back to wherever I'm staying and I fall asleep right away or whatever. Maybe I'm not as lucid. I get that, but I can't recall me going somewhere to drink and just getting so fucking plastered that I am incapable of moving myself. I'm just stuck. I just can't do anything about it. Maybe that's just what maturity brings to the person. They have to be like, oh, I'm responsible for myself. I can't just go and run into traffic and get hit by a car and die singing country roads like Only Use Me Blade. That's a life I can't be leaving. But, don't worry. Josh is on the case. Him and Jessica are going to iron this bad boy out.
So then when I showed her actual proof of her being face down in the bathtub, she went from denying it to going, well, okay, Josh caught me. Oh, geez. And then, she proceeded to say, well, I don't want to make Josh worry. And I'm like, well, what do you expect, dude? We need to fucking leave Jessica alone. I'm getting tired of this shit. No, it's the truth. People have been fucking harassing Jessica non-fucking stop since she started dating me because they can't handle that Cobra has a girlfriend. I'm like, Jessica, honey, if I didn't find you attractive, I wouldn't fuck you and spontaneously do nice things for you, like buy you pizza.
Yeah, that's what a real relationship is like, YouTube. Having sex and getting pizza. Fucking hell, man. I mean, Josh, are we forgetting the fact that you had a sex doll for an extended amount of time that we know you were porking? We know the depths of depravity you'll go down. I mean, anybody that is a commoner probably was spending money on those cam girl sites is probably not somebody that should be giving advice on how to swoo a lady, how to make her feel safe and comfortable. That's probably not the directive that we're really looking for, right? But hey, these two, I mean, what is there to say? I mean, it's lovey-dovey land. Of course, I mean, we have to get past the fact that Jessica is basically a child living in a 40-year-old lady's body that looks like she's a 60-year-old lady from The Shining coming out of the tub to attack what's his name. If we move past that, Danny, that's his name. If we move past that, then it'll be all good. I mean, oh, he caught me, guys. He caught me drinking. What do you think's gonna happen? You think she's gonna get porked down when she shows up for his birthday in a couple months? What do you guys think is gonna happen? She can't find her prenatals apparently, so we don't have that luxury. She's gonna be keeping that baby in bog juice. Most definitely what is up.
But my drinking has been pretty bad from time to time, so